Hello and welcome to the lesson. So today I'm going to teach you how to play Hey Jude by the Beatles. And I think this is a great song for you to learn, not only because it's a brilliant song and I think you're really going to enjoy playing it, and you can strum the chords and you can sing along, or you can play the chords and other people can sing along with you. But as well as all that, if you haven't been playing guitar for very long, then this is quite a straightforward, simple song to learn. You're going to learn some great new chords, and I'm going to show you some bar chords and different bits and pieces. But all in all, it's quite a concise song. The sections are quite simple and I think you should be able to pick it up quite quickly. And it's suitable for playing on acoustic or an electric guitar. It doesn't really matter which one you've got. So let's begin. Let me show you what I'm going to teach you in this lesson. We're going to begin with the main verse section, which is the main intro of the song, and it's going to sound like this. Okay, and you probably recognise that that is the main, intro of the song. But as well as that, I'm going to show you the second part, which is going to sound like this. At that point we go back into the verse again. Alright, and as well as that, there's the bit at the end of the song where they're singing na 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 na, and I'm going to show you the chords to that as well. Alright, so let's begin. Now with this song we're going to use bar chords, and I hope you've seen the 12 free lessons, because if you remember, in one of those lessons I explained how to do bar chords, so I hope you've had a chance to look at that. But I'm going to explain it all anyway in this lesson. So let's begin. Take your first finger and lay it across all the strings at fret 1. And what you need to do is hold this finger flat and hold all those strings down really tight. It actually requires quite a lot of strength from your hand to be able to do that. So once you're laying that finger flat, take your middle finger and put it on the 3rd string at fret 2. And then take your 3rd finger and put it on the 5th string at fret 3. And put your little finger right next to it on the 4th string at fret 3. If you need to pause the video for a second and just get that right, then please do so. And also you can look at the chord box next to me just to check you got the positions right. Now ideally what you need to do is hold this down with lots of strength and strum the strings, and they should sound like this. Nice and crystal clear. Now I got to be honest with you, it's unlikely that you'll be able to play it perfectly straight away. What you might have to do is just experiment a little bit and wiggle your fingers around, and just so you can get it into a comfortable position. And by the way, acoustic guitars actually require more effort to hold down the notes because the strings are thicker and they've got more tension, whereas an electric guitar actually requires less effort from your hands to be able to hold down the chord. Alright, so hold down this chord nice and tight. And there we've got an F, and so long as it sounds reasonably okay, we can proceed. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to strum 4 beats, which is called a bar, if you remember. So basically what I'm asking you to do is just strum 4 times. Okay, excellent. Now we're going to move on to a C chord. Now you may already know it, but if not, it's the 3rd finger on the 5th string at fret 3, the middle finger on the 4th string at fret 2, and the 1st finger on the 2nd string at fret 1. Now with the C chord, we're just going to pluck 5 strings downwards. So what I mean by that is we're not plucking the 6th string, okay? So just make sure all those notes are sounding nice and clear. And the mistake that some people make with a C chord is the back of their 3rd finger is accidentally touching the 4th string. So make sure it's not doing that. And also the back of the middle finger sometimes is accidentally touching the 3rd string. And the back of the 1st finger can accidentally touch the 1st string. So pluck each one of those notes, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And they should sound like that. Alright, so we're going to do 1 bar of C, and what that means is 4 strums again. now I'll just quickly tell you that I'm using my thumb to gently touch the 6th string, and what that does, it mutes the 6th string just in case I accidentally strum it, and it stops it from making a noise. So you can do that if you want to, you know, but what's more important is that you just concentrate on making the chord sound nice. Okay, now once we've done the C chord, keep the C on and we're going to adapt it into a C7. What you're going to do is put your little finger on the 3rd string at fret 3, and you can pause the video and just look at the chord box next to me, and what we've got there is C7. So strum the 5 strings again. Excellent. Now at that point we actually go back to the F chord, which you've already learned obviously. Alright, now I don't want you to feel overwhelmed with what we've done so far. It's perfectly normal for you to have to pause the video and practice each one of these chords, you know, step by step. I didn't learn to do this stuff instantly, you know, perfectly straight away, and it's going to be the same for you. So I don't expect you to be able to play it, you know, as I'm explaining it to you. Right, so from the start in slow motion, we've got 1 bar of F, 1 bar of C, C7, and back to F. Excellent. Okay, now we're going to do what's called a B flat. Now I'll warn you now, this is probably the most challenging chord in this song, so if you can have patience and bear with me and really practice this one, then I think the rest of it is just going to seem easy. Alright, so the 1st finger goes on the 5th string at fret 1. Now you can use your little finger or your 3rd finger to hold down strings 4, 3 and 2 at fret 3, and we call that a mini bar because you're holding those strings flat, laying your finger down flat. Now I personally prefer to use my little finger, so just to make that perfectly clear, the 1st finger is holding down the 5th string at 1, the other finger is holding down the 4th, 3rd and 2nd string at fret 3, and if you look at the chord diagram, what we're going to do is pluck strings 5, 4, 3 and 2 like that, and it should sound like that. So just take a second to practice it if you need to. And again, the thumb is muting the 6th string. All right. And by the way, I'll just take a moment to explain that you can experiment with different hand positions. You can try using your palm flat on the back of the neck like that. Some people like that. Some people like to bring their wrist round so there's more space in this area of their hand, and that seems to make it easier. And as I've said already, you can use your 3rd finger or your little finger, and so I suggest that you experiment a little bit because everybody's hands are different and you'll need to find what's comfortable for you. Alright, so after we've done the bar of that B flat, we're going to go back to F. And also at that point, you can see what hand position that I'm using for the F. I'm not doing this, I'm doing this with my wrist sort of quite low like that, and that allows me to stretch this 1st finger out and have it nice and straight and rigid. Okay? And then once we've done the F again, we go to C, and then back to F. Okay, don't worry if you haven't memorised all that straight away. Let me demonstrate it to you in a slow motion. There you go, that's the main verse section of the song. Right, now what I'm going to ask you to do is to play all that round twice. That's what he does in the verse, he plays it twice. But once he gets to the end, after he's played it 2 times, we finish on the F chord, as you already know, but then we're going to do an extra bar. And it's going to be a new chord called F7. And it looks like this, and what that is, it's the same as an F chord. So if you just start with an F, but take your little finger off, and put the little finger onto the 2nd string at fret 4. It's quite a stretch, but again, as usual, you just need to practice it and be patient and you'll get the hang of it. Look at the chord box if you just want to see where the dots are. And we're going to do 1 bar of this F7. Right, excellent. Now, at this point, we move into the 2nd section of the song. It's going to sound like this. Right, so what